What is going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the Shutter Hustle podcast. I am your host, Jorge Rodriguez, and thank you so much for tuning in today. Today, we are going to talk to Gerardo Mandujano. He is a Dallas-based wedding and quinceañera photographer, better known as GM_photo on Instagram. We are going to talk to him and listen about his journey, how he became the photographer that he is today with over 20 years of experience. So y'all stay tuned and let's get this show started. Let's go. Here we go. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Shutter Hustle podcast. Thank you so much for joining us today. And today I am very excited to have our special guest here, a Dallas photographer. And based on his bio, he is one of the best photographers, says his mom.
Yes.
But I am excited to have Gerardo Mandujano in the building. How are you doing, sir?
Doing great. And you, thank you for inviting me here to your podcast.
Yeah, thank you. I'm excited to have you here. I know we've been talking about, bringing you on for a while, and it's just scheduling and busy season was behind us now, and ahorita ya que tenemos poquito de tiempo,
Let's do this.
let's do this. So,
Yes.
oh,
Sorry, my bad.
it's okay.
Let's
It's
turn
okay.
this down. Oh,
If it's important, got to take care of business.
cayó un pago.
Ah,
Cayó un pago.
that's it. Es lo importante. So I wanted to start off, man. Again, thank you for being here.
My pleasure. Sincerely, my pleasure. I've been hearing from these podcasts from other friends, and they enjoy it. So, when they told me, "Hey, man, este estuvo chido," and then I heard from you que me mandas la invitación, I was like, "Yeah, let's try this."
There you go.
To be honest, I'm very not that external, I guess, but I've been trying to just open, and it's time to start meeting new people, new talent here in the Dallas, and there's a lot of talent, and we need to get together, talk about how we can help each other and support at least each other,
For sure. I like how you say that, man, because that's one of the things that we're trying to preach here at the show. It's community over competition, right? And what we're talking about earlier.
Right.
I think that's the vision that we all should have, like the standard of we're all here as trying to reach a certain goal, a specific goal, right?
Right.
Do what you love and be financially paid for doing what you love, right? But before we get deep into all of that, I want to get to know who you are. Tell us a little bit about you, how you get started, and what type of photography do you specialize in?
Right. My full name, Gerardo Mandujano Agüeros. I have a second name, Gerardo Udi Mandujano. I am a portrait, quinceañera, and wedding photographer here in the Dallas area, but also I have done weddings some outside destination. But lately I've been focusing more on quinceañeras, and it's not something I decided, it just happened. I started with weddings. I wanted to focus with the Anglo market.
Mm-hmm.
Then I started doing more Latino weddings, obviously.
Yeah.
Cara de frijol. And then it just slowly, a lot of quinceañeras started coming my way, and I started enjoying it more than weddings. And I think it's because it opens more, to me, it opens more the doors for more creative shots.
Okay.
More colorful, and by the end of it, the clients are easier, in my opinion. It's more smooth, the transition, than with brides and couples, because you're dealing with one mom maybe and the quinceañera, and then couples. Sometimes their expectations are a little more high than what the quinceañeras expect, and it works better for me.
Yeah,
it's been working better for me. To be
that's
honest.
good. That's good. And how long have you been in photography?
I gotta say, about 21 now, 21 years.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
My background is, I am an art director. I work for the JCPenney headquarters over there in the colony for 13 years, and that's when I started learning photography, because I was sent to art direct the sessions for the merchandise and models and direct them basically to have a great shot to sell.
Yeah.
And I will start talking to photographers around and in the studio in JCPenney, and they were really nice people, So I was like, this is very easy. It seems very easy to shoot. Like, I started seeing figures, money figures and whatnot, and I was like, man, pues les voy a decir que me enseñen, and they did.
Yeah.
So just like you mentioned to me, you got your Revel whenever you started. I got a Nikon D100, which it was the first digital camera from Nikon.
Okay.
From Nikon, le digo yo. And the screen was 1 inch, bro.
Wow.
It was an inch size camera. I got a 50 millimeter lens, and I started just learning. I didn't go to school, but photographers there, whenever I would go, they will answer my questions very, very kindly, taking their time. So I remember starting doing those and taking pictures. I was uploading to a website those pictures. It was called, actually, I forgot the name. It was imagine Instagram, but maybe 20 years ago, bro. Okay.
MySpace?
No, not even MySpace. It was
Flickr?
before MySpace. It was
wow.
at the time by Flickr, but it was called, I forgot the name. Lo tengo aquí, pero luego te lo digo.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was the same. You would just upload a certain amount of pictures, and people will comment on the side.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And I remember that company was owned by Google, so you could upload tons and tons of pictures. So a lot of people will do the family pictures and whatnot, just like Instagram.
Sí.
But I started just uploading pictures of portraits that I did of people that I had back in the days when I was going to church.
Yeah.
And then they started liking, and then people started asking for quotes and ¿cuánto cobras por quinceañera? ¿Cuánto cobras por esta boda? ¿Cuánto me cobras por acá? And I'm like, I don't know any of that, bro. I'm just taking pictures.
Right.
And it started from there.
Okay.
So I was doing the art direction, but then I was preparing myself more into photography. And I guess just like the majority of us photographers, we like one lens, and then we try to understand high-speed sync, and then we started learning, flash photography off camera, and we just, developed from there.
Right.
In my case, empecé a hacer eso, and then couples wanted more creative shots, and I started investing in the lighting that I used to crazy shots, and I was more like wild, telling my couples, hey, vámonos al lago, and I want you inside of the water, and let's do, dramatic shots, and me tienes a mí, my friend in Israel, man, he's not even a photographer, pero le decía, hey, tú agárrame el softbox, el güey ahí mojándose. That was hilarious, man.
Yeah.
And you would see the couples loving their pictures, so that's when I started doing more panoramics.
Okay.
Using flash, external flash, off-camera flash usually was more with the triggers, Yonwo.
Yes.
And then
I remember.
before those, nasty triggers.
Yes.
But it just developed, man.
Yeah.
And so I get laid off from JCPenney, and I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to do... Oh, I'm sorry, can I say groserías here?
Try. Yeah, it's okay. Not too
avoid
much.
it, okay.
Yeah.
So I just say, screw it. Let's do photography only. Y de ahí empecé a conocer otros fotógrafos. I know many photographers when we started. Y pues aquí me tienen presente.
Yes. Nice.
Al pie del cañón.
Aquí estamos listos y activos, right?
Indeed.
There you go. Well, that's exciting, man. So you have an incredible journey. So do you still do anything with like the art directing, or you don't even want to go back to that career?
Well, I met another art director back in the day, way back, that I have a lot of respect for.
Mm-hmm.
And he will always say, man, you're not a photographer. You're an art director.
Mm-hmm.
But you're taking pictures as an art director.
Yeah.
So that's what I do.
Okay.
So that's where you will probably see something that will try to be different regarding quinceañeras.
Okay.
Because I do have a vision, and I try to follow the art direction in my vision. So sometimes para las pobres quince las frustro porque, les digo, no me sale, espérate, vamos a repetirlo.
Right.
So I guess I keep doing it with my business.
Right.
And also creating the marketing material for the business, and, email campaigns and all that.
Yeah.
Yo lo hago. So
Okay.
it involves art direction too. So
Right.
no paro.
So you're a one-man show for your business.
I am indeed.
Okay.
So
That's very interesting. How do you find that to help you within your business growth? I mean, it's so hard wearing multiple hats, right? You're an art director, you're editor, you're marketer,
Right.
you're a salesman.
Right.
How do you find that fit you as your role?
Well, it's hard. I mean, comparing with other photographers, they have the support of their wives, for instance, or uh, an assistant. But sí es duro, man. But sometimes you just have to learn to delegate, I guess.
Yeah.
And sometimes I have learned to do that in certain areas. Sometimes when I have a lot of work, I will say, "Hey, man, edit this video." That's it. I don't need to edit the photos for me, but it's been very rarely. Right now, I've been doing everything. Like, I don't
Yes.
record the video. If I was able to, believe me, I would have the camera and set it up too. And yo me aviento el evento solo, but
Yes.
it's a lot of hats, just like saying, a lot of responsibility. It's very risky. But
Well-
nowadays, I just do the editing of both video and photos on my events
Yeah.
and delivering the process, album creation, printing, everything, sales,
Yeah.
and all that.
Oh, and we're gonna dive into that a little bit later. I just, I'm excited to hear your journey and how you got to where you're at now. And I know you mentioned earlier that it's hard if you could edit or record yourself,
Shit.
you do it, right? And you still kind of do it in a way, right? And,
Right.
and here off camera we have your Insta 360, right?
Right.
And I've seen some of your Instagram videos of behind the scenes where the photo shoots or you're actually during an event, and it's such a cool tool to have. Do you just mount that onto like your camera body? Do you have a bracket, or how do you kind of like, do you hold it with one hand and the other hand is
I
kind
used
of
to I used to do it on a bracket, man. Pero la cámara pesa un chingo.
yeah,
It's heavy, man.
yeah,
And
it gets heavy.
You get tired, so le quité el bracket y nada más la pongo en un little stand.
Okay.
Similar to this, well, maybe even skinnier.
Yeah,
And just ponlo enfrente y
and then just
dale, brother.
Yeah.
So it is a blessing of a technology because, you can just play with the angles.
Okay.
So cool, and it helps a lot.
yeah,
It helps a lot whenever you want to do the behind the scenes that we
Yes.
need nowadays. That we need to do all that.
right,
It helps a lot, and it helps also to create creative takes, and whatnot. Hay otro fotógrafo que también hace mucho eso, Escandón. Víctor
Yes,
Escandón.
yes,
Él
I've
también
seen
usa
him.
I've seen his takes, man.
yeah.
They're inspiring, So
Yeah.
he does great.
It's definitely, como dices, inspiring because you get to see different perspectives, right? You get to see a full view of your surroundings. So you may be looking forward, but you can't see what's going on
Right.
behind you. The camera's actually recording reactions.
And let me tell you of another one, because él me ayudó también le dije, oye, muy buena idea usar esa 360. Jorge Rojas.
Mm-hmm.
Jorge Rojas también usa su 360, pero él la pone abajo de la cámara, brother. Like face
Oh.
down. Lo conecta a la cámara and he just goes, takes pictures. And
Really?
then you see his videos también. It's
Yeah.
very interesting to see.
Okay, we may have to
The-
go check
the
them out. Maybe get them on the show here.
Sure. Él ahorita de estar de regreso ya de México, creo que andaba de vacaciones.
Yeah.
Pero it's a helpful tool, man.
Yeah.
Just to keep creating content and I guess help others, even the clients, to understand the process
Right.
of what we're doing
Yes.
whenever they hire us, right?
And I think that's very important that you're saying help the client understand the process because it's not just showing up to a photo
It's not just
session
click,
and
click,
not
man.
clicking a button. There's a lot of things, and like you mentioned earlier, you gotta direct the quinceañera or the couple, and you have to set up your lightings and takes, and it's just not showing up. Okay, we're done. Right?
Probably
It's
for the
natural light. Yes, yeah, for the natural light photographers.
Maybe, pero I'm not a natural light. I think, well, we all are. Correct. Let me correct myself. We all are natural light photographers.
Yeah.
We just like to use extra, help.
Enhancements. Yeah.
Correct.
Right.
So-
For all situations.
Mhm.
So have you ever caught yourself, where you're like, wow, it's a pretty day, natural softbox outside. I don't need flash, or you're always, I'm gonna shoot flash regardless.
No, sí. ¿Sabes qué? It was not me, it's the client. The
Okay.
client will tell me, hey, porque my process is I take both. I will do some natural light shots, but then I will try to, if the area allows it or inspires me to do so,
Yeah.
vamos por the flash, man. Let's do
Okay.
wide angles. And I try to follow that.
Okay.
But the client will always say, I like more this or I like more that. So that's when I started saying, well, let's do both.
Right.
Let's shoot both. just bring that light. I'm not the kind of photographer who likes to bring 3 lights
Yeah.
to the session. It's
Oh
just
man, I
one
need to
light.
leave my lights at home. Then. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I mean, es que
I try to do one. That's it. One at least.
it's just una, nada más. Y, you know, in this journey, I learned, yeah, there was a time que sí dije, voy a traer 2 o 3, pero soy alguien muy considerado, you know, and I don't like to bother others around.
Yeah.
So it's easier and more respectful to say, nada más tráete una luz, pum, 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 vámonos, lo que sigue, you know, without blocking or taking the space that is not yours, you know?
Right.
So I like to follow that, you know?
And I've seen that a lot, and I'm not trying to derail the conversation, pero como dices, like, you've heard of the Quincealandia, right? In Las Colinas.
Quincealandia.
Quincealandia, right?
No me sabía eso.
Y ahí siempre, every time we go, that's why I a veces I'm like, we got to go on a day that there's nobody there. Because a veces if it's a Saturday, you're going to have 20 quinceañeras,
Correct.
and each photographer has 5 to 10 flashes. And then their familia, you know, they all roll in a caravan, right? Vienen todos, so it's just like, okay, you know, I'd rather just try to make it simple and just como dices, dude, just get in, get your shots, and let's move on, you know, because the client has things to do, you have things to do, and you already have the vision of what you want to achieve for that particular session, right?
Así es.
So what are some of the challenges that you've had, let's just say, in a photography session where there may be other photographers and you're just waiting your turn, or have you ever had any situation where you've ran into other photographers that are like taking up all the space?
So I just move on. I mean, obviously it's a little unpleasant, I guess.
Yeah.
Pero pues allá ellos, man. O sea, yo empecé a tratar de ser rápido porque sé que hay otros fotógrafos. Entonces no voy a tomar el espacio cuando lo necesitas. So, si han habido fotógrafos, you know, rude ones, Americans, especially that they think they own the area and they put a little pressure. So, one light, bro. One light is quick enough, and when you know your stuff, you already know. You just don't need 30 minutes to take a picture.
Right.
You just need less than 8. Just, you know, make your model, your subject quickly. Boom, arregla el vestido, vámonos, and quick. You know, I try to work that way. Sometimes you might need maybe a little more time.
Yeah.
Pero siempre una luz.
Okay.
You know, antes sí me traía. I can't remember. I got, I guess one of my first off camera that I purchased was the 8600 from Godox. Like primera que sacaron, yo creo. You know?
Yeah.
But it was so heavy, and then the softbox, and then it's just heavy, and then wind. You will see my assistant struggling.
Iba volando.
See, and then I was like, there's got to be a better way. So then they came up with the 8200s. And I started doing 8200s only. Yeah. With a Mac mod on it, and then you start realizing I don't need that much. You can take off the Mac mods. You know? It's just learn your light, learn the positioning of it, and ahorita nada más hago. Pues compró Photo.
¿Compró Photo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Y pues con esas me las ingenio. Y a veces ya ni con esas. Whenever it's a venue, traigo una lucecita LED, bro. Una, no sé si las conoces. No, es una Roto, ¿cómo se llama? Roto Light, creo que se llama.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Esa chingadería, güey.
And then just...
I have made all the photographers and other, like a photo booth guys, and they see me just quickly, ponla, tum, 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 vámonos.
Yeah.
Know? And they ask me always, ¿cuál es esa luz, brother? Because it's powerful enough. You know? Y ya, vámonos. O sea, it helps. Yeah. It helps to be, whenever you're a one-team guy, pues haces rápido todo y vámonos a details. Vámonos a, ahora sí, set up flashes and all that.
I me mandas la foto of it so I could put it on the podcast, a picture, so that way if anybody who's interested in wanting to learn, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of different lights, but to me, I love Roto Light. You know? Right. I love that brand. Tienen una más grande que I've been considering, pero ya, otra vez, grande. It's not convenient. You know, it has to be practical. So let's hope they come up with a more powerful, smaller.
Okay.
And that'll help for the outside, you know, for the off-camera flashes with sun when you're trying to overexpose for the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. And let me take it a step back, man. I know hablas mucho español.
Oh, sorry.
No. You're fine. You're fine. And for our listeners, what part? Where were you born?
Mexico City, man.
Mexico City. Okay.
Born and raised.
Del DF, huh?
Del DF.
Okay.
Capitalino. Y me vine para acá en el 95.
Okay.
So, pues, 21 años tenía.
¿Cuál es tu equipo de fútbol?
I'm not a fan, bro.
Really?
I'm not a sports guy. You know, I mean, I only like el Mundial, I guess, the soccer.
Yeah.
Which I will go for Mexico.
Yeah.
Pero I'm not a sports fan.
Okay.
I love going to sports, and because I know it's really fun, you know, going to baseball game or...
Yeah.
I haven't gone to a Dallas Cowboys game.
Don't waste your money on that. Don't waste your money.
But I've gone to baseball games, hockey games, and se ponen even basketball games. Con Jorge, fui una vez, me invitó, and man, that was fun, man.
Yeah.
I see why they like it.
Yeah.
So, but as a team that I have, I sincerely don't.
No eres fanático like la América or la Cruz Azul or nothing like that. It's just
No, but nothing like
just
that.
national team Mexico. Okay.
Yeah.
When was the last time you visited back in
En
Mexico?
diciembre.
En diciembre.
Acabo de
¿Tienes
ir,
familia
ya.
allá todavía?
Tengo pues mis tías, todo allá, pero más que nada amistades que fui a visitar.
Sí.
Y mis primos, you know, people that we were very close.
Yeah.
So, sí, fui unas 2 semanillas.
Yeah.
Pero bueno, no fue tan pleasant this time, pero usually it's fun to go to Mexico.
Okay.
Especially la comida, ya sabes.
Yeah.
Y todo lo demás.
¿Y cómo ves la fotografía in Mexico? How do you think, la raza's doing out there with photography and coming up and, because in Mexico, especially in el DF, there's so many places that you can go and do beautiful pictures, right?
Well, ahí en México, para que veas, I can do natural light beautifully.
Yeah.
Because there's so many locations, so rich in culture.
Yes.
But especially, I guess, colonial spaces.
Okay.
I love taking pictures in colonial spaces. So, because the lighting is beautiful.
Right.
So, whenever they did the architecture there, you go and look inside of a church, and you're going to see beautiful lighting.
Yes.
There. So, you don't need a flash right there. Obviously, los fotógrafos mexicanos, hay muchos que admiro. Y sé que tienen mucho que dar, y que de hecho me han inspirado a mí también.
Sí.
Que quieras que te diga uno, no lo conozco personalmente, pero hemos tenido contacto. Juan Ewan se llama.
Okay.
Él vive en Cancún, creo. Él antes tomaba fotos para otra compañía que se llamaba Del Sol Photography.
Yeah.
Whenever they started, Juan Ewan was like their star.
Okay.
So I believe that thanks to him, ellos subieron. So Juan Ewan ahorita se salió y él hace su estudio.
Yeah.
Y su fotografía is very inspiring because he's also very artistic. It's not about snapshot. You can tell he takes his time and thinks what he's doing and then takes the shot,
So he tells a story within the picture.
Oh, yeah, he does.
Okay.
So, but I know he only does weddings. No he visto fotos de quinceañera de él.
Mm-hmm.
Pero, pues, cabrón, está ese güey, mis respetos. Pero creo que él también se apoya mucho de otro colombiano, que él vino una vez aquí a dar una clínica.
Okay.
Y no me acuerdo de su nombre ahorita.
Yeah, no, it's okay. That's okay.
No me acuerdo de su nombre, pero ahorita es Oscar, creo. Oscar. No me acuerdo ahorita.
Okay.
Los que vean esto, los que me conocen ya lo conocen también.
Yeah.
Cardona.
Oscar Cardona.
Oscar Cardona.
Okay.
He's un embajador de Magmon, pero su estilo de Cardona, mis respetos.
Sí.
También. Y él es colombiano, él no es mexicano.
Pero
como que hay mucha unión de México para abajo, Sudamérica.
Yeah.
Hay mucha unión de fotógrafos y se inspiran mucho uno con ellos. No, es que antes sí me gustaba mucho el método Magmore, pero yo me empecé a alejar un poquito porque pues también muchos ya empezaron a usar Magmots, y dije, no, ya, do your own thing, vete por otro lado, brother. Porque el arte es no es nada más una cosa, hay muchas cosas que puedes ingeniar y pues andamos en eso, brother.
Yeah.
Andamos siempre en eso, buscando ideas, inspirarte.
There you go.
So, eso es algo que sí vas a ver en mí, tratar de hacer algo nuevo.
Yeah. And I know temprano we were talking about, how you want to be different from everybody, not repeat shots, angles, lighting styles. Why did you want to choose that route?
Well, I guess it's part of the ego, it's part of my ego, no por elevarlo, sino just to feel myself another option.
You want to stand out.
Not too much, not to stand out, but just to offer you another option.
Okay.
Es como los tacos, carnal. Hay tacos de bistec, pastor, lengua.
Yeah.
You choose lo que tú quieras. Yo digo, yo soy
Estás dando hambre, bro. I'm getting hungry now, man. You talk about tacos.
I know, man. I know. I haven't taken breakfast too, but I hope that helps explain it. I just,
Yeah.
Sí, muchos fotógrafos we probably don't see it because I've seen it in many photographers. They don't notice, but it's basically you're feeding your ego.
Right.
And it's okay. All right. Good. But also learn to control the ego. And when you control it, then it's easier for you to see where you're going without looking around.
Right.
It's just look around and then say, well, I'm not too much into it, but let me just do my own. And sometimes whenever you find like talent like that, que tienen su propio estilo, que tienen hasta cómo sirven al cliente. Bro, eso sí, mira, lo voy a decir. A Rafa, siempre se lo he dicho, Rafa le admiro bastante cómo atienden al cliente. Because, su fotografía también. Rafa y yo, that's why we click, porque nos conocimos en una get-together de otro fotógrafo muy famoso también aquí, que se llama Tony Valadez, no sé si lo conozcas.
Yes, I do.
Bueno, Tony Valadez hizo un meeting y ahí nos conocimos, Rafa y yo.
Rafa Badillo.
Rafa Badillo.
Okay.
Y cuando nos conocimos, man, cuando me mostró sus fotos, I was blown away.
Yeah.
Sincerely, I was like, God damn, this guy, my respects. Y juntándonos y todo, ya conociéndonos, his style, but también su model de negocio, tratando al cliente, mis respetos, man.
Yeah.
I'm not too fancy. They like to be more fancy, more attentive.
Yes.
I am more like in the chill side and whatnot, pero ve la diferencia, si me explico. O sea, no, it's not always the photo. It's the whole experience that you will give to your client.
Yeah.
So I am more into my picture. Rafa is into more the whole system, and maybe others are too into the whole other system.
Right. The whole experience from beginning to the end.
And I am more into, you will like me because I will give you something, that you will like.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say badass because I'm not the badass people here. I am not. Otra vez digo, todos tenemos nuestro granito que dar.
Right.
I just like to think of myself that I will give you something you're going to like. So.
Right. And for those that are listening and watching on the YouTube channel, if you have not yet followed Gerardo, go ahead and follow his Instagram. And that is GM_photo, at GM_photo, man. And I've seen your work, and I was telling you earlier, like I was going through your page just as I was preparing, for the show and ask you the questions and really get to know you. I followed you for a while now, right? And I've seen your growth and your style change from your studio photos to your 360, behind the scenes video. And it's very fascinating how you are growing now, because you said you've been in the game for 20 plus years, right? And you've seen a lot of trend changes, right? From how people used to see their photos before Instagram to now you having to do reels and putting yourself in front of the camera. What are some of the humps or some of the roadblocks that you've had to get over to be more socially, presentarte más enfrente de la cámara? Like what are some of the things that you've oh man, I don't want to do it, but I have to do it?
Well, es que I guess there's a saying, el fotógrafo le gusta estar atrás de la cámara, no enfrente. So I guess the majority of us, we photographers, we're a bit shy in front of the camera. I don't care right now, I don't, but el bloque que creo que he tenido que pasar es exponerme yo, grabarme yo. And it's not an easy thing to do, el vencer ese miedo. I guess es la pena de la aprobación de otros, in the beginning. Pero ya cuando empiezas a crecer, ya cuando empiezas a... When you like your stuff, bro. When you sincerely like your stuff, you don't give a shit. Y lo he dicho en videos pasados. Le digo, me vale si al cliente le gusta o no. Mientras a mí me guste, te va a gustar, güey. Te lo juro que te va a gustar.
Yeah.
But that's me. O sea, mientras me guste a mí, mientras yo sé que estoy haciendo algo que me gusta a mí, because that fires my passion, that fires me, makes me feel alive, bro.
Yeah.
So cuando hago algo que me gusta y que digo, this shot, you know, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I don't need to scream it to everybody, but that helped me to overcome facing the camera, talking to new photographers, you know, allowing myself and to know others without the fear of competition or the ego que se ponga enfrente, you know, that fear, quitártelo and just say, man, quizás tu mentalidad al principio de un fotógrafo era así, pero ya cuando lo conoces, ya cuando te permites, you know, that's another block, man.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of photographers here, and there's a lot of photographers que quizás hasta te creen que eres un mamón, que eres un presumido. Me lo han dicho. Right. Me lo han dicho. Me lo dicen, que creen que soy un mamá, que no comparto. But whenever we hang out and they take the time to even ask, hey, ¿cómo hiciste esto? And they see that I don't reserve many things, you know, like, no te voy a decir qué cámara usé. No, I'll tell you. You know? That block, espero que todos lo podamos vencer.
Yeah.
You know, sin miedo. Un ejemplo que también sigo mucho es Rafa. Rafa es bien fácil en eso. Él no tiene problema.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to have it in the beginning. Pero ya cuando lo vi a él como, you grow.
Yeah.
Pues dije, pues sí, ¿para qué anda uno?
Why are we gatekeeping? Why are we holding back?
Exactly.
Why are we holding back information?
Shit, man. O sea, tú no lo inventaste.
Right.
No, it's not
Let's
yours.
improve it.
Improve. You can learn even from the beginner certain thing that you didn't even know cómo lo hizo or how he probably made it easier for himself and then it's going to be easier for you. So, te digo, este ha sido un viaje conmigo increíble de aprender negocio y todo hasta bajar tu ego and understand where you are in the world, you know?
Yeah.
Hope that explains it.
No, that it perfectly explains it. And that's going to, you know, wanted to bring up a reel that you did a while back ago. That is when I saw it, I was like, man, this guy is legit. Como dices, there's a lot of photographers out there that are shy or don't have the cojones to say what they really want to say, right? And there was a video that you said about the kids running around during the, I think there was a quinceañera's dance. Y hay unos los chiquillos just running up and down, and you're showing a video example. And then when I read your post, I was like, that got to me because I'm like, man, that's something that I've been wanting to say, like, people, get your kids, you know, people invest a lot of money into this. And that's why mis respetos for, you know, being the voice for some of us that haven't been able to say stuff like that. Because, ¿qué van a pensar los papás? Y que no sé qué, you know what I mean?
Si me conocieras, because I just asked Rafa or the people that know me. They know that I was even more proactive about it.
Yeah.
Like, I would stop the kid and grab it or take it out. It's like, te acaban de la risa because they were with me sometimes shooting.
Yeah.
And I learned not to do that, you know?
Yeah.
Only because you're so passionate about providing a good service and no issues.
Right.
So I learned to, let the kid be. But at the same time, si hay algo malo que pase, it's not on me, man.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
Me, so.
Yeah. Have you ever had one of those kids knock down a stand or yeah?
Oh, yeah. Pues en esta industria, cuando no, especialmente con hispanos. Pues sí, pues es que es la verdad, o sea, no es apuntar, pero es con nosotros, es con nuestra comunidad. Me estoy incluyendo, o sea, me estoy incluyendo porque no me excluyo de mi comunidad. Amo a mi comunidad, de hecho. Una experiencia, I guess, fue una vez que quería hacer una quinceañera. No, esto fue una boda. Y era la hora de los retratos de familia. Ya había pasado la misa. So llegamos al venue y I'm prepping my lights because they wanted a large family portrait. Estamos hablando de 20, 30 personas.
Yeah.
And when I'm setting the light, pues un niño está corriendo bien contentillo. Lo estás viendo, o sea, lo estás escuchando. And then le pega a mi stand. Yo, ahora sí que fue churro, man. Fue de pura suerte que vi que le pegó y pues sí lo detuve el stand.
No era de pro photo?
Actually, it was an expensive light. So cuando lo agarro and I hold the kid by the arm just to stop him from running, porque no estaba prestando atención, le dije, ¿dónde está tu papá? Y pues llega el papá y me la armó de bronca, el papá.
¿Oh, sí?
Sí. Ya que te pasa, bla, bla, bla. Le dije, estoy tratando de evitar que me rompa la luz, pero que también te endeudes, brother.
Yeah.
nah, que tu pinche lucecita. I'm sorry, that's what he said.
Yeah,
tu
yeah.
lucecita. Y le dije, esa lucecita vale $2,000, brother. Si quieres pagarlos, págame ahorita y lo tiramos con gusto. Pues se quedó callado.
Calladitos.
Sí, pero de ahí uno aprende constantemente. Y sí, así he tenido bastantes experiencias. He tenido hasta conozco muchos decoradores. And you know, decor it's pricey.
Y así como la raza, we grab the centerpiece y nos vamos.
Deja eso, man. I see kids these big old macetas that they use to decor look beautiful.
Yeah.
A kid broke one.
Yeah.
No, pues sí lo detuve because I knew the decorator.
Yeah.
Le dije, hey, man, where's your dad?
Yeah, yeah.
I need to tell the dad. Y le traje al decorador. Le dije, órale, brother, que te pague because that's not cheap stuff. So he was thankful to the decorator because obviously he didn't know. But I saw him and I was like, nah, bro, I'm not going to let that slide, man. Yeah. That's not cool. You have to be responsible with your kids and whatnot. But, I mean, estaría chido un día hacer un programa de puros...
historias from the
historias de
days.
miedo and whatnot. Or the funny ones, too, because there's got to be always funny moments that we experience with weddings and whatnot, no?
Yeah, of course. And that's going to lead us to transition to something that I didn't tell you about, okay? And I came up with random questions that I want to ask. And they're nothing bad.
No.
It's just to get to know you. And I have a series of 12 questions, okay? But I'm only going to ask you 3. So from 1 to 12, pick 3 numbers, random, whatever numbers.
All right. 8, 10, 2.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. 8, 10, and 2.
8, 10,
All
and
right.
2.
We're going to start off with number 2.
Venga.
What is your favorite type of ice cream?
I like chocolate.
Okay.
But I don't eat too much ice cream, to be honest.
No? Okay.
Ahorita ando en un zero sugar.
Yeah.
You know, so ya tienen como unos 3 años. Que,
Oh, really? Okay.
Que no como azúcar, pero sí, a veces sí me doy una probadita de chocolate.
De chocolate.
Una barrita, sí me lo como. Pero if it's a flavor on ice cream, chocolate.
Yeah. No. Very perfect. Nice. Okay. Here we go. Number 8. Okay. Share a funny or embarrassing moment of your past that you feel comfortable telling us.
Oh, man, so many. No much.
Do we have enough time today on this recording? I have a 1 terabyte on memory, so I think we're good.
All right, I'm going to try to... All right, I'm going to tell you my worst mistake that I tell my friends. Now you, Jorge. This was when I was starting photography and I was pushing with weddings. So I used to be a Jehovah's Witness. So the Jehovah's Witness community is very tight and whatnot. Very religious, very active. So a lot of the clients, when I started, were Jehovah's Witnesses. So one time, before getting my studio and whatnot, cité a una pareja in Starbucks. And, we were texting, hey, at qué hora y todo. While we were texting, the client and I had receiving also texts from friends, families and whatnot. So recibí una foto bien cochina de un amigo. Funny one, but it was vulgar. It was vulgar. O sea, vulgar.
You wouldn't want to show your mom.
Nor your girlfriend.
Oh, my goodness.
So, I don't know how I got mixed, and I wanted to share it to another friend.
Oh, my God.
And guess who I shared it with? The client.
No way, dude.
And it was a girl. It was the girl. It was the bride-to-be. Bro, I was like 2 seconds to break the phone para que no se mandara, pero sí le llegó, man. So le dije, I was honest. Le dije, hey, obviously this picture was not for you. I completely apologize. Le digo, if you don't want to meet, I completely get it. Le digo, but, I'm sorry. This was not for you. A friend sent it to me, and I was just doing my cochinada aparte.
I was being a human.
I was being the friend, sharing it to another cochino friend. Y de ahí, pues, perdí al cliente.
Oh, man.
I tell it funny right now, but that day, brother, that moment, híjole, ahí sí sentí el estómago.
Te pusiste bien pálido.
Like this size,
oh, my God.
Man, like así su bolita. It was horrible. And I still feel a little but, it's distractions. And, well, I guess that's my biggest defect. I'm very distracted.
Yeah.
You know, I get distracted so easily. Más con esta cochinada que te nos tienen aquí,
Yeah.
that doesn't help. So,
Yeah.
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 I
No.
hope that answered
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
question.
No. You wish back then they had the unsend version, like unsend,
Jesus,
unsend.
dude, yes. No, era cochinote.
Oh,
O
my
sea,
goodness.
no te quiero decir that. Maybe
Off camera.
off camera we'll share you the kind
Okay.
of picture it was, but man, El Rafa sabe cuál es.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
So yeah, that was one time.
Okay. Well,
Funny and I guess.
yeah, it makes you
Embarrassing,
realize, like, let me slow down
embarrassing.
before I hit
I know.
send. Hold on. Okay, it's not the client, right?
Yes.
All right. And the last question. What is your favorite comfort food?
Comfort food. I would say pistachios.
Pistachios?
Yeah, pistachios and whatnot. That's I noticed that's the thing that I eat at night.
Yeah.
You know, before going to bed, I'm
A healthy,
meditating and
healthy,
eating.
healthy fats.
Mhm.
Healthy. Are you on a health diet right now? I know yesterday when we were texting, you said you needed to go to the gym. Are you like actively in the gym?
Yeah, I try to. I mean, ahorita no es like before because before it was every day.
Yeah.
Ahorita I just go maybe 4 days a week.
Okay.
But I'm doing intermittent fasting.
Yeah, intermittent fasting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How long have you been doing that for?
Pues ya va para maybe 6 months.
Okay.
And I noticed a difference. You
Yeah.
know, I lost weight like crazy.
What's your time schedule? The 16-8?
16-8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes I just do 12. I mean, I'm not strict about it.
Yeah.
But I noticed that it helps.
Yeah.
It helps, and it helped way faster than doing the exercise.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't need to kill yourself on the gym as long as you're doing the exercise.
Right.
80-20, remember?
Yeah.
You probably heard that. 80% is diet, bro.
Yeah,
So
it is.
I agree. And I avoid too much meat right now.
Okay.
You know, so I'm trying to go vegan too.
Are you?
I was for 2 years.
Okay.
And then I eat tacos.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, yeah.
And so right now I'm trying to get back, but
Yeah.
I will say I'm happy in the way I am right
Good.
now. I mean, I like to be skinny, especially at my age. A lot of people say sorprendent, so
Yeah.
it's working.
So that's one of the subjects that I was going to talk to, eventually on the show, how important it is to, as a photographer, your health,
It is.
Yeah,
I have experience. I have experiences of other photographers one, no voy a decir nombres, pero vi que uno pasó en COVID, bueno, no sé si fue COVID o fue diabetes, y no pudo trabajar por un tiempo. So, él empezó a pedir ayuda a otros fotógrafos.
Yeah.
Económico. And, well, that tells you how important it is, right?
Yeah.
And I've learned my lessons because I had also health issues in the past.
Okay.
So ahora yo le digo mucho a la gente, hey man, lo más importante no hay nada, te lo juro. Si no tienes salud, ¿verdad? No puedes hacer nada.
Right.
So lo más importante para mí, mi prioridad es la salud.
Mm-hmm.
Y después ya mi vida, mis emociones, mi paz y el negocio.
Yeah.
¿No? Antes era al revés.
Yeah.
El negocio, mi vida.
Y la salud al último.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, it's very important. Y como te digo, when I was excited to hear when you said you wanted to get a workout, and I'm like, oh, that's badass,
Yeah.
Not a lot of photographers out there put their health first. Como he says, they put the business first.
Mm-hmm.
Y ya cae el tiempo when it's too late, and then they, pobrecitos ahí andan, carrying all this gear, y sude, and I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that was me at one point when I was just, not at my fittest, you know. Yeah, I was like, dang, I about 3 hours in carrying 2 cameras. I was like, I'm tired. I want to go home. Forget this.
No, y aún así, like, even cuidándote la salud, there's things that you have no control because of age.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
So your strength se empieza a caer,
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I turned 40 in July. As soon as I hit 40, I was like, oh, my knees. that wasn't feeling like that yesterday.
Right.
Oh, my back.
Right.
So yeah.
All of us, like, la mayoría de los que conozco sí me han contado de algún dolor o algo que están experimentando que they were like, esto no podía pasar y, well, I think we're all there.
Yeah.
So yo lo que hice fue azúcares, carbs, intermittent fasting, just try to help me, with the hassle that we do, especially in working, que creen que es cualquier cosita. No, brother, 8 hours and up, the next day, you know how you feel next day. So, and thank you for letting me know your age. I'm 48.
Okay.
So, yeah, almost 50, brother, y aquí andamos.
Aquí andamos. I think that's what I've noticed about, some of the photographers that I've talked to. Not on the older, but more on the mature side. And I'll say not, don't get my words twisted. There's a lot of mature photographers, but there's some that are, more aged, digamos, more experienced, more life experience.
Right.
And those are the ones que, como dices, la mente that they think differently, right? I don't want to hold information back or how things happen. I want to show other people how to do certain things so that way they don't go through the same struggles that I may have gone through during my learning process. And that's one of the cool things that I've seen about, your videos, especially when you're trying to instruct things or even be who you are. You want to show people who the real person is behind the business, right? So I want to ask you another question, more leaning towards like the business now. How do you build your connections with your clients, right? So I guess walk me through to how your processes look like, from hey, you get an inquiry to meetings to booking, and how does your flow look like?
Usually it's a phone call.
Okay.
I mean, even though I do have a CRM system, I always call. Y ahí well, the first email always will tell everything they need to know. Like my starting pricing, what I provide in the collections, and thank you for your interest, right? And then I will call and say, hey, and I noticed that you received the email. Thank you for inquiring. Any questions? And then sometimes I need to repeat whatever the email said.
Yeah.
Just to bring that back memory to them. Y de ahí platicando, I try to keep it 50-50, I guess. 50 business and 50 you.
Yeah.
O sea, a ver, cuéntame, ¿qué venue tienes? How you feel about that venue? No, y te empiezan a contar. Especialmente the mothers of the quinceañeras, sometimes they have that illusion going on.
Yeah.
And they would tell you, no, tenemos y queremos esta temática. And, they're developing that illusion, that fantasy of what's going to be that event.
Right. They're probably trying to relive their quinceañera through their daughters.
Yeah, or maybe create what they didn't have.
Maybe.
It doesn't matter. I mean, it's valid. Y de ahí, cuando platicamos, usually I try to then get to know the quinceañera, like, tell me about your daughter. So sometimes it's very interesting when you ask them, even on the phone, they will cry. I guess because les tocas el punto débil.
Yeah.
And de ahí, whenever they tell me, about their daughter and their hobbies and, practices and maybe the sports they play or whatnot, then I tell them what my collections will provide for that, how they can help to capture that of your daughter. Y de ahí hacemos la cita. Would you like to meet in my studio? They know it's not, I don't have an open studio. Majority of us probably we do appointments only. Y pues de ahí vienen. Y de ahí pues a platicar, know. I know I can improve maybe whenever they come to my studio to provide a better experience regarding attention to the client.
Right.
Pero wait, it's me.
Yeah.
Okay? So it's a comfortable place. You're gonna have warm.
Yes,
warm
you can have some lights, maybe some water.
Aquí tienes tu agüita, But I don't know. I don't like to provide alcohol, especially because it's more family oriented. If it was couples, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Couples, I do understand. Pero yo no proveo cerveza a mis clientes.
Okay.
Yo no proveo bebidas.
Yeah.
Lo que sí proveo es una plática, cuéntame de ti. And then to the point. No sé. Quizás a otros fotógrafos les funciona más el interest en el cliente. Like to know about them. I don't know. I feel like there's a certain line que ya ahí se queda y sometimes el cliente nada más quiere saber también, okay, a lo que vine, muéstrame qué tal y quiero saber precios y pues órale, vamos.
¿Cuánto y por qué tanto?
Exacto.
Exacto,
like.
¿Por qué tanto?
Así, sí, pues sí. O sea, lo que sí me he dado cuenta y eso es por otros vendors that I have learned is like provide like an ambience, like a cool ambience.
Yeah.
Que huela bonito, well lit, big ass portraits, you know. And I noticed, and I'm talking big ass portraits, bro. If you go to my studio, you'll see 60 by 40s.
Yeah.
And I have a 70 by 45 that I just order.
Yeah.
because sell.
I
They
think
sell.
I think one time when I went to the vendor that we go and pick up portraits, I texted you because I seen your photo there. I'm like, damn. I'm like, Gerardo,
It was just a big one.
you remember? I don't know. I texted you like, hey,
Creo que
bro, do
sí.
you want me to take this for you? I got a truck.
Oh man,
I could take this to you.
es que believe it or not, las quinceañeras and couples too, cuando ven the bigger the frame, their eyes go like they.
I want that. I want that in my living room.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And sometimes les digo, si, parejas usually like when they buy their houses, I'm like, do you have a big ass wall? Yeah. That's for you. So
Keep
they
it
see
simple.
that exactly. See, I mean, I like to be direct.
Yeah.
That's one thing you're gonna know about me. I like to be direct, and I tell things in their face.
Yeah.
I don't like to shady sale stuff. No,
Sugarcoat it, yeah, kind of.
No, directo. Te sale tanto, y that's what you get.
Yeah.
What you see is what you get. No,
Okay.
pues sí. Like, I'm very proud. I just sell 66 by 40 something acrylic.
Mm-hmm. Damn.
That's $2,000
Wow.
and up. De vender. And it was not even my picture.
Yeah.
It was a picture that they wanted, and they just wanted me to
Wow.
get it for them.
So they already had the digital. They just want you to do the print service for them.
See?
Okay.
So maybe I will use this as a step to tell other photographers, sell, brother. Don't do digitals only. You're letting go of a lot of money that will help your business to be sustainable.
Yes.
Right? I think
agree.
those are clear words.
I mean, that's why we are
Sales.
in business.
I mean, it's very surprising to me to see photographers that I see in Facebook groups charging $500 for 10 hours and still providing a print and an album. I'm like, what? How?
Yeah.
But
I have a very, very relationship with some photographers I'm in that we talk with the same thing. We're like, why are you giving the house away? Why are you giving the farm? And then photo booth on Prince album for $1,000. I'm like, where's your profit, dude?
to me, it's just that,
You know?
like, how do you sustain yourself?
Yeah.
You maybe have another job.
Yeah.
Lo más seguro.
Right.
You probably have a solid 9 to 5, and that's why it's easier for you to provide a more affordable
Right.
Service. But
it kind of it brings the balance of the full-time photographers that are making that this is their business. This is their full-time job. Now, you did touch a good point. One of the questions I wanted to ask is you do offer a lot of prints, albums, and so on.
I do.
And you mentioned you don't give away your digital prints or your digital files, or how does kind of like that work for on your side of the business on the back end? Like,
no, I don't give digitals.
Okay.
I mean, correct. Let me correct myself. I give certain amount of digitals that the client chooses, 200, 400, 600 of your event.
Okay.
Of your portrait, I don't give until you buy.
Okay.
So mainly whenever they go with the biggest collection, which is, ya estamos hablando de figuras grandes, that's when they get 10 to 20 pictures.
Right.
And that's it. You want more, you pay for it. And thank God they want more.
Right.
So así es como yo me ha ayudado también a mantenerme en este negocio.
Yeah.
Because I don't do many weddings. I don't do more than 30 a year.
Is that weddings and quinceañeras in general? Events, 30 events?
Events.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't do more than 30. And I don't because it's a lot of work. Dude.
Yeah.
And I noticed that entre más te agarras, hijo eso, you have to delegate.
Right.
And I know there's plenty of photographers, they do 60, almost 70 a year, and they delegate everything, right? That's cool. But I like to edit. I like to edit my video and the pictures, so I don't send it to other studios or other labs to do that for me.
You don't outsource it.
No, I don't.
Everything's in-house.
Correct.
Okay.
Everything is me.
Except the prints. Or do you print yourself?
No me inspires, brother, because if I could, si cupiera en mi departamento,
Yeah.
ya tendría la impresora ahí.
Yeah.
So even the metals, I would be doing them because I love learning everything handcrafty,
Right.
That it's related with art.
Yeah.
So
Especially with your background, así como dices, that's like you have a passion for that.
like the backgrounds that I do in my studio and it's me.
Yeah.
I do them by hand. I cut the boards.
Really? Yeah. I was gonna ask you about that, about your light up boards, and let's talk about your studio a little bit. Where's your studio located?
Right there in Oak Cliff, man, en la mera Quincealandia, o como
No, Quincealandia.
Quincealandia Avenue or Quincealandia Avenue.
So you're right there off of Jefferson,
In
or
Jefferson and Bishop.
are you? So you're close by Rafa.
Indeed
By
I
the-
am. Indeed I am. No, es que Rafa, it's in an office space. I'm in a loft, one of the lofts there.
Yeah.
And I'm neighbors of Scene Photo también.
Okay.
Cindy, she's a portrait photographer.
Yeah.
Pero ahí estamos.
Yeah. How long have you had your studio?
Well, that one, it's going to be a year. Ya empecé el segundo año ahí.
Sí.
Sí, because antes estábamos Rafa y yo juntos.
Okay.
Teníamos el estudio en downtown. We started together having the studios.
Right.
So we started.
It was a shared space.
Ajá. Empezamos en, ¿qué fue? En la Winnetka and Davis.
Okay.
And then we slowly started from a studio. Quizás empezamos un estudio como el tamaño de aquí de tu cuarto, brother.
Yeah.
And then slowly
Mi cuartito.
we needed bigger.
Right.
And then ya we took weights apart. Y ahorita ya llevo un año y cachito con este.
Yeah.
And I still need bigger, man.
Yeah.
Es que empiezas a agarrar tanto equipo, tantas cosas que quieres hacer, creative projects and whatnot, and
Right.
boards and cubes and
Yeah.
so all
Yeah.
that. It takes space, man.
Yeah.
So a la mera hora ahora entiendo los fotógrafos porque they need almost like a warehouse, man.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
be able to move everything
Yeah.
free and not worrying about romper cosas o tirar
Right.
tus luces, man.
And I love your boards, man. Every time I see you post a picture of your quinceañera photos with the boards, I think
Thank you.
those are like very unique. I've never seen anything. Those are custom made, I'm assuming, right?
I made them.
Yeah.
Sí.
So-
Pero, I mean, again, it's not my invention. It's not something that I say, oh, un día desperté y I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
It's just looking for new art, new
Yeah.
ways, and then you find on either Pinterest or another Instagram post, and you're like, how do they do that? Like with videos, for example, like musical videos.
Yeah.
And then you start digging, you start going through that rabbit hole, and
Yeah.
here we are. you know.
Yeah.
And then you just apply your little touch
Yeah.
about it.
Make it unique to you.
Exacto.
That's nice.
And that's the factor about being different.
Yeah.
That's what I'm always going to look something like that.
Right. So this being your full time, you do all the editing. You do, you're the vision behind the brand. What are some of the challenges that you've experienced? Being, your own boss.
Money.
Of course, money, right? Yeah. I mean,
Well, son muchos challenges, like sometimes I don't want to edit video, or no sé si te pasa a ti, I don't want to edit the video sometimes.
or you just don't want to edit in general.
I don't have, I'm very quick with photos.
Okay.
Like photography to me is very quick.
Yeah.
But videos, I think my mind starts to block itself whenever I see that it was not perfectly done, the recording.
Okay.
Certain
Because
things-
you're not doing the recording
No,
yourself.
no,
You-
I hire
you-
a team,
okay.
and sometimes pues, hay retos, hay descuidos, distracciones, and you have to fix them now.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm like, God dang it, But whenever they're like really well recorded sounds, video, lighting, no, hombre,
Se vende solito.
así,
Yeah.
lo haces rápido. But whenever because it's not syncing properly, the video sometimes, because sound, I mean, so many stuff that you can find challenging.
Yeah.
Te da hueva, man.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I guess that's one of the challenges, I would say. I guess también, ¿sabes qué? Taxes. Taxes is the pain in the butt. So,
Yeah.
that can be a challenge too.
Challenge. Yeah.
To keep all the receipts and whatnot
Yeah.
organized.
That's one of the, especially tax season being around the corner. It's time for everybody to start getting their paperworks in line, making sure they stay legit with the IRS, because you don't want them knocking at your door.
No, you don't, man. No, you don't. That's why I keep saying, like, how is it, whenever you find cheaper photographers, it sounds bad, but let's call it more affordable photographers.
Right.
How do you declare your taxes, man? I mean, your expenditures doesn't make your living. So even the IRS is going to be like,
What are you doing? A hobby? Is this a
Why are you declaring this? You
Yeah.
know? Probably, I don't know, man. But yeah, those are big ass challenges. Man.
Yeah.
You know. Um, well, también quizás I don't know if you have experience there, Jorge, but you know, cuando el cliente ya no regresa por sus cosas.
What do you mean? Oh,
Whenever the client paid you thousands of dollars, and then you tell them, hey, todo está listo, man, ya puedes venir a recogerlo, ven por tu álbum, verte.
yeah.
And they just keep saying, yeah, soon I'll be there. Y no vienen.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, what do I do? Well,
I've-
you know, like.
I've had that experience once. And I've emailed, texted, and they're like, "Yeah, we'll get to it." I'm like, "Okay," you know,
I got 3 clients, man. One is 5 years, the other is 3, and ahorita ya va una para casi un año.
que nada.
Que no. Ahorita apenas me contactó una que ya llevamos desde el 2021, que le hice su evento y hasta apenas ahorita me contactó ayer y me dijo, I'm ready for the album. I'm like, you just lost your album, girl. You need to buy it.
Yeah.
So they're like, yeah, we will. All right.
I mean, and so, but you already have the album sitting, waiting, and
No.
Oh no, so you're just waiting for them to send you the.
See, because many of the photographers, we all have a different way to do our sales and whatnot. Yo, como te dije, yo permito que el cliente escoja sus fotos. After they choose their pictures, then I work with those pictures to create your album.
Okay.
Many photographers, they do different. They will select the pictures that they are going to send to the client, and then maybe they use all those to do a reveal session and create the pages of the album and whatnot.
Yeah.
I know other different ways, but mine is more like hasta que el cliente me mande las fotos, then I will do your album. If I don't get the pictures, man, you just lost your album, and you're gonna have to buy it again.
Really? What's your average turnaround time? After the event for like just photos, not videos.
You're gonna be surprised, man. You're not gonna believe me.
2 weeks.
2 days.
2 days.
2 days.
How?
I'll send them.
I mean,
Magic.
do you use aftershoot or?
I use aftershoot, but
Okay.
Aftershoot is not perfect. So
Right.
you have to take your time to sit down and go back with the images, make sure that they're cool, they're okay. And then to me, the challenge is that aftershoot didn't miss some cool takes.
Right.
Because sometimes it does. Well, not sometimes. It usually does.
Yeah.
So you have to go back and include it into the
Right.
editing and then do the magic, man.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I use. I don't
Yeah.
use Imagen or other calling system or editing system. No, I edit everything.
Okay.
So, but I'm simpler. I'm very simpler.
Yeah.
That's all I can tell you, I guess.
Yeah.
With the magic.
So 2 days. So do you even sleep after the events? Like, do you come home and like start dumping the files and
Sí, I do.
and you start
Believe it or not,
editing?
yeah, no? Like, it's normal. Llegas a la casa todo guameado. Pues tengo que dormir, man. So duermo, me despierto, save the images, go through them, and then let aftershoot do the magic, and then check on their images, and then transport them to Lightroom, do your trick, send them.
Okay.
That's basically it.
And I know the reason why, you do that turnaround, but for those that may, start photography and want to take that leap, why do you do it in 2 days? Why not like everybody else promises 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks? Why 2 days?
Because client, I believe the client still has that excitement in them, and I don't want to lose that. The excitement. So whenever I tell them your pictures are ready, we're still eager to see them.
Yeah.
I've seen the response.
Yeah.
So and also the client tells you, like I tell many people, the client will tell you what they want. So me han contado a veces que hay fotógrafos que luego ni les entregan o que se tardaron 2 meses, 3 meses. So to me, they're telling me, bro, no. 2 months, no.
Yeah.
A month, no.
Right.
No, it's good. I know that many do 2 weeks only because sometimes they do either outsource to others, or they're too busy with many clients, which is understandable.
Right.
But como yo te dije, no hago tantos eventos, I can. And then being an art director and learning Photoshop since version 3, I learned how to do things quick.
So you're really good at Photoshop, I mean.
Photoshop and Lightroom,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I study them. I sometimes surprise myself that many photographers, they don't know Photoshop.
Right.
I'm not gonna say names, but I know many that they do a lot of events.
Yeah.
They don't know editing.
They hate it.
Actually
It's
they
just
do.
very challenging.
Maybe I don't know. They just learned how to outsource and their system works that way, and
Right.
it's more than respectable. Que bueno por ellos.
Yeah.
I do like to do everything. I guess because the main reason, carnal, is because keep as much money as you can with you.
Yeah.
That's the main reason.
Right.
And if I can do it this quick, pues por qué no?
¿Por qué no? And if it's your full time, yeah, no, I understand. I understand, and I also understand that you have a side hustle también. You know, a printing company, right? You're wearing one of your shirts right now. It says "Awesome Photographer."
Well, it's not completely. It's not too much of a side. I have done sales.
Yeah.
Pero it's very hard to keep many sources of income going on.
Right.
Pues no le echo tanta porra porque pues también estás ocupado con la foto o el video.
Right.
And I still want to open another business, pero no voy a decir nada because I don't want to jinx it. But
Yeah.
Este me gusta porque I like design. I like to create,
Right.
Graphic design.
Yeah.
So that's why I do it. So sometimes I will promote, for certain photographers, just like you and Rafa and everything. Hey, si quieres, why not?
Why not? I'm gonna have to hit you up after this and
Sure.
get me some for the Shutter Hustle. That's what I was talking to some of the guys earlier. They're like, you need to come up with some merchandise. You can also get in shirts. I'm like, that's a good idea. Like, bring to my guests. Here's a hoodie. You know what I mean? Here's a cup, a coffee cup. Anyways, let's get back on to what we want to talk about. So, I only have a couple more questions, but I do want to ask. We're gonna go into this other piece of this segment called "How did you get the shot?" Okay. And I pulled up two pictures from your Instagram page, and I'm gonna share later on the podcast just for the people that are watching the podcast. But I want you to talk to me and let's discuss this first picture. So just kind of describe what's in this picture. Talk about location. Talk about what type of what you were seeing in this image.
All right. So esta foto fue in Fort Worth. It's a pretty known chapel. I can't remember the name of it. It was for a wedding. And well, it's very significant. It's a very unique place because they design it. The architecture is beautiful inside. I don't know if you have done any weddings in there, but it's just very, very unique. I wouldn't know what kind of architecture is. But this is the second photo that I've done this way. And I don't know, I saw the idea. I had it since I saw that. Whenever they told me, the client, hey, va a ser en esta capilla, I was like, all right, cool. I have the vision already. I know what I want. And, well, we executed. It was a couple right in front of the middle, I guess, ¿qué será? El ventanal?
Yeah.
Right,
balcony,
in the main balcony, yeah, of the chapel in the back area. But the back area looks like a frontal design. Mm-hmm. It's really interesting. So how did I do it?
Or talk about what the camera settings, did you have your assistant with the flash somewhere? Because the couple is well lit for being inside.
Right.
From windows and then you being on the outside?
I did. The lens was a 14 to 24, obviously, because you want the whole wide-angled aspect.
Mm-hmm.
I did use my assistant with the B10. Yeah, B10 with a OCF softbox on it.
Mm-hmm.
Y se los puse en mero enfrente, Así, I mean, in the original shot, you're going to see the softbox right in front of them, but they're as close as possible to the window.
Okay.
And I was with the phone calling the assistant, telling them, hey, diles que se muevan más para acá, diles que más para acá, tú mueve la luz para acá.
Right.
And it was quick again. I like to be quick. So I think I did have maybe, I don't remember. I think I did have an ND filter on the lens. Mm-hmm. It was not it was in the what is it, the slowest shade.
The variable?
Mm-hmm.
The low variable?
The low variable. It wasn't the lowest. Y pues tres tomas, tum, tum, tum. Y luego le dije, quítate le dije al asistente, hazte un lado, esconde el softbox y una o dos tomas where we can capture the ambient light of the portrait.
Yeah.
And then you just do the Photoshop magic of
Very nice.
removing the softbox. El chiste es agarrar a la pareja because if you zoom in, they're like looking forward to the future and beyond, right?
Yeah.
I like that. I like to have them like that, cabecitas pegadas, and just look forward, or at least uno besando al otro or whatnot.
Right.
So that's how we came up with that. And then just magic of editing,
Right.
Obscuring the ambient light and whatnot. And it came out really, really good.
Yeah.
I mean, esta es la segunda foto que hago así.
Yeah.
De una pareja casándose en ese lugar. Martin, ¿cómo se llama? De Martin Leonard? Yeah. Martin Leonard Chapel.
Martin Leonard Chapel out in Fort Worth.
Out in Fort Worth, yeah.
And I mean, just when I saw this image is very breathtaking. Just como te digo, like just seeing the couple, and I noticed when I zoomed in, because I'm the type of person that if I see a pretty picture, I'm like, oh, that's cute, but let me zoom in, let me see how sharp they look, and I was like, wow, they look pretty good. Like it's very creative the way, I'm sure the couple love that image, and hopefully you got to upsell. Prints for that, but okay, we'll delete that from the conversation. So then, after that, then, what's your favorite type of lens to, let's just say, for a wedding, or what's your go-to lens?
Well, always the 70-200.
Okay,
that's the main, only because of the compression. Pero whenever on a wedding that it's always run.
Mm-hmm.
If the couple decides to have a moment to do bridal portraits, well, siempre va a ser el 14-24.
Okay.
Always, no doubt. And the 70-200, those are the main ones that I always use.
Yeah.
Even in my portraits, whenever doing quinceañeras and couples or people, 70-200 and 14-24.
Yeah. And you're still shooting Nikon?
Always.
Yeah, that's good. Okay. All right, so that makes the completion of this Shutter Hustle episode. No, I'm just kidding.
I just okay, pues,
okay.
Peace out, pues.
No, just kidding.
See,
No.
I mean,
it's I joke with everybody that comes in and
no, it's cool. I mean, I know Nikon is not doing well right now, but the last camera that I got, the C8,
yeah,
it's a monster.
Is it?
It's a monster, bro. So
mirrorless, right? I'm assuming. Yeah.
Yeah, I was very close to change to Canon, but the investment was going to be around 16,000.
Yeah, just to change everything, glass,
change everything. Yeah,
everything.
And I was like, well, I can't do it, but what am I going to do with all these cameras that I have? And
yeah.
So whenever they announced C8, I was like, I'm going to wait for that and see what's going on. So I got the C8, and I'm very happy with it.
Nice.
No complaints. I know that many people rely on the autofocus. I don't rely too much on the autofocus. I don't like to, because it takes certain attention of you and the subject.
Mm-hmm.
Even more in video, a lot of people rely so much on that. They trust the autofocus that they have given me horrible work.
Right.
So, no. So con Nikon estoy muy contento. Me gusta mucho el sensor de Nikon and the warm tones. Yeah. I have always done that. So. Yeah. No, hasta ahorita no voy a cambiar, pero never know.
You never know. Now, the next image is not an image, is a reel that you posted, one of your most recent ones. Excuse me. And I wanted to, we're going to switch over to your studio. Okay. And I know you like to play a lot with lights. And just watch this video and kind of walk us through what you're seeing here, or what your vision was.
Well, the idea was mainly this was inspired mainly on fashion photography. The reel will show you me making use of, ¿cómo les llaman? Model boxes.
Okay.
Or model boxes, yeah. And a spotlight. And, well, I inspire myself by watching fashion photography sometimes. And I saw a photography of a model doing a small spotlight on her face, and I love it. And again, I brought how will I apply it to a quinceañera?
Yeah.
And pues salió la idea de she's crowning herself, as a quinceañera, and see the happiness of her. So that's why I was like, man, let's just work with that and with the modeling boxes and whatnot. And pues apenas estamos empezando. These are the first shots that I've done. To be honest with you, this idea is also because I want to do influencers. I want to start offering influencer collections.
Okay.
Because I know it's a trend that keeps growing and growing.
Right.
And here in Dallas, there's a lot of good influencers.
Yeah.
And I just want to offer that even for makeup influencers and whatnot. And just be different in a way, So muchos ahorita hacen, if not the majority, they do outside photography and they do the wide angle and whatnot. Pero it's very rare to see studio portraits of quinceañeras now.
Right.
If you pay attention, So I'm trying to bring that back.
Yeah.
Trying to support myself on that side.
Yeah.
So right now, I mean, there's so many new photographers that they do different kinds of stuff in studio that it's just mind-blowing.
Yeah.
So that was my mentality. I want to do this a little more, have fun. And this was I call it the premium session, which is an extra session that I include in the collections that I sell for quinceañeras. And they love it only because they can be themselves more.
Yeah.
It's not about the dress anymore. It's about you.
Right.
So ahí la que ven en este reel, pues ella está echando relajo,
Yeah.
No special talent. She told me, no, I don't like sports. I don't play an instrument. I just want to have fun. Dije, pues entonces let's have fun and see what we can come up with. So she was extremely happy.
Yeah.
So that's why you see me laughing, because we were doing stupid stuff.
Right.
Like dancing, and you have fun, man. And that's the experience that you give to the client, just laugh, just relax. It's not about getting nervous and, worrying about, porque ella me dijo, es que me preocupa un poquito que estoy un poquito pasadita de peso. Le dije, don't even care, man. I mean, we're going to have fun.
Yeah.
And even my assistant, I remember that, ella me dijo, man, ya veo por qué te gusta, because you have fun,
Right.
You laugh, you share laughs and great experiences. And the mothers, obviously, pues les encanta ver que su hija está feliz. You know? So I hope that answers the question.
No, yeah, for sure. So how do you run an idea like this to the parents or the clients, right? Like, hey, I have this idea. Do you trust me, or do you have to like really explain to them what your vision is?
No, I always just say, hey, I have the premium session. The goal is just to focus more on your daughter and not too much on the dress and the traditional shot.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever they start seeing pictures that I show of the premiums, they're like, oh yeah, we're on.
Right.
I haven't seen someone say no.
Yeah.
No, they're like, all right, let's do this.
Yeah.
So I'm happy for that too, because
there you go.
Because it's easier by the way. I mean, easier because, well, llueva, truene, relampaguee, pues es en el estudio, brother. So weather is not a subject here.
There's no reason to cancel.
There's not a reason to cancel unless it gets cold.
Right.
But de ahí en fuera, no, hombre, es divertidísimo, man. And I can spend a whole day taking pictures. When we start going with the creative juices and whatnot.
Yeah.
El tiempo se pasa así, brother.
That's one of the things I noticed about you. Sitting here talking to you, that you're easygoing.
Mm-hmm.
You te gusta platicar, te gusta pasarla bien, and that's what makes your clients feel comfortable, right? Because just looking at that video, that girl looks like she's having a blast.
Oh, she was.
And that's what a lot of photographers, in my opinion, lack of that being themselves.
Right.
Because they have to hold a certain image that I have to be professional. No, you just gotta be you.
Just be you. Well, I guess if I may say so, it's not about you. This to me, this industry is not about you. It doesn't matter if you're a vendor with a salon, a venue.
Yeah.
If you're the decorator, it's not about you. It's about the client. So that's what I'm trying to do.
There you go.
It's about the quinceañera, mainly. It's about her. I'm more interested in what she is. It's not about my idea, because I can give you many ideas, but by the end of it, if I don't capture who she is, entonces ¿pa' qué?
Yeah.
That's my reasoning. You know? So even in the venues, even at the mere day of the event, it's not about me. It's about my client. So yo les digo, porque a veces el cliente me dice, oye, ¿me puedes tomar fotos? Les digo, no, no, no. You tell me, oye, quiero que tomes fotos de esto.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go. That's what you're paying me for.
Right.
It's not about me. It's not about me.
A ver si me da tiempo. Let me check the timeline. No, I
Right.
can't. It's not in the timeline.
No, and I'll tell them. Like sometimes you just have to get into the boss mode to control the time,
Yeah.
to adapt to the time
Yeah.
or the timeline. Pero I was always thinking of them. Sometimes you will fail. I mean, obviamente he tenido clientes que no han estado satisfechos for, let's say, small reasons in my thinking.
Yeah.
Pero la memoria está salvada, brother.
Right.
Pero tu baile, todo está salvado. No,
Yeah.
no hay queja. You know?
Yeah.
So, again, this is how I see it. It's not about me. It's about my client.
Nice.
Y también en las parejas. I mean, las parejas obviamente es diferente. Las bodas es un poquito diferente because son dos mundos. You know, and we have to, whenever I try to bring that special idea of the premium with a couple,
Yeah.
todavía no encuentro un modo donde trabaje con pareja. You know? I don't know why. But whenever I try to bring the creative side, just like we were talking earlier, like le digo al novio, hey, so ¿cuál es tu equipo?
Yeah.
Y ahí ya se disparó uno. Entonces a la otra luego me dice, no, pues que a mí me gusta otra cosa. So that kind of works, but it doesn't work in a studio. For some reason, I don't know, maybe it's a block that I am putting on myself, but no, ojalá.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's interesting how you say that, porque it is how those worlds come together.
Exactly.
Right? If you can't figure out a story, how to portray that story in your photograph, then it puts a mental block. Like, okay, where am I at? What am I doing wrong? You know, is it me? Is it my personality or something? Right? You know, right. And that's not the case. It's just trying to figure out so many different aspects, especially when you have different characters, personalities. It makes it much more harder to get that final outcome.
And sometimes no tienen, like I have a couple I just did. It was surprising for me. Él era más relaxed, es más relaxed and chill. And he likes cars and whatnot.
Yeah.
Pero ella quería un vestido así inmenso. And she got her. Like she got a long dress and she was more into the fashion-y looking.
Yeah.
And that gave me an advantage, pero hay diferencias.
Yeah.
You know, so the long dress would never fit in the studio.
Right.
Ese nunca hubiera caído.
That's all cornered up.
No, le hubiera tenido que dar vueltas.
Yeah.
So a eso me refiero, que a veces que sí me gustaría hacerlo en el estudio, pero I don't know yet how to, make it work.
Right.
Because in the studio, you either do an elegant portrait with the couple, or I don't know, that make it elegant or make it casually or make it more dramatic. I'm still struggling with that idea.
Yeah.
I guess because I got more used to now quinceañeras than weddings.
Yeah. So then that means, como dices, more elegant, just tucks in a beautiful dress.
And not everybody likes tux. Like many of the novios, they're like, no, yo quiero mi sombrero, charro, y quiero mis cowboy boots and my cowboy hat and all that. And I understand that.
Right.
So, but it works better in another space, not in the studio.
Yeah.
From what I've seen so far. Maybe I should start just
playing around.
Just
do
bring
it
and see what we can come up with.
There you go. Where do you see the industry right now for photographers? How do you see where we're going here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area for quinceañera and wedding photography?
Wedding worries me, I guess. Well, it doesn't worry me. I've seen weddings. They're not gonna invest as much as what they used to.
Okay.
From what I'm seeing, especially with the economy how it is right now.
Right.
Yo sé que a muchos les ha bajado. Quinceañeras, man, creo que ellos siguen igual.
Okay.
Lo que sí estoy seguro, los eventos no van a parar.
Eso sí.
Esos no van a parar. It doesn't matter si lo van a hacer de 100, de 50, pero no van a parar.
Yeah.
So, no nos debemos preocupar tanto por eso.
Okay.
Lo que sí es de que ya no van a invertir tanto en cosas innecesarias, like before.
Right.
Weddings for a mariachi, maybe they might take it out.
Yeah.
Or maybe, what can I say on the wedding side? That I'm like, well, that was not necessary. el clouds, maybe, or
the extra add-ons maybe from the
or
DJ
maybe
or
bringing a banda grande, you know, like
Yeah.
I've done events on the time, bandas conocidas, and maybe they're not gonna do that no more
Right.
because obviously it's a lot of money.
It is.
Quinceañeras maybe the same. Bandas no van a traer. Slowly I've seen
Grupos.
like ya no hacen iglesia las quinceañeras, la
Right.
mayoría ya no hacen una
Because
ceremonia.
también cobran for the church. It's another expense.
Yeah, and again, listening to the client, they tell me, pues no van, güey, no va nadie de la familia, van nomás 20 personas, and that's it. So why spend that much more money, $2,000, $3,000
Yes.
for the ceremony? Pues no. Entonces les digo, no, pues está bien, o sea, you do your own party the way you want it. This is your party.
Yeah.
I'll be just capturing the memory, and that's
Right.
it, you know?
Right.
So yo creo que va a seguir igual, pero un poquito reducido en ciertas cosas.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
Okay.
Yeah, I hope I'm not wrong.
I hope. I mean, I've noticed a decline in inquiries are coming in, but obviously people are making adjustments to the economy, so they have to figure out where they can adjust, right? And I have noticed that trend of and hopefully it's nothing that is for the long run. Hopefully it's just something just as soon as the economy gets better, then stabilizing, people are getting more income, and then
I believe it's going to be like 2008. Like I remember 2008, bajaron los precios. Todos tuvimos que bajar los precios.
From the housing crash.
From the housing crash and people losing their jobs. And sí se sintió. So maybe it's going to happen the same.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Well, I do know why, but I hope it's not that bad.
Right.
Let's pray.
Let's pray that it's not that bad and things still go forward for us and the vendors and como dices, the parties are not going to stop. People are still going to get married. Girls are still going to turn 15.
Well, I hope people still get married because acuérdate que hay una generación que they're not seeing too serious or
they're not wanting to
get married.
Lay down roots.
Quinceañeras, they will. Like I noticed, hablaba la otra vez con un fotógrafo, no era un fotógrafo, era alguien más. En México, carnal, en la ciudad, no celebran quinceañeras ya.
¿En serio?
Uh-huh. O sea, me dijo así, yo no he visto quinceañeras. Yo sí llegué a ser un chambelán de una novia con la que anduve que le hicieron su quinceañera. Yo fui el chambelán, pero ya no se ven tantas. Lo que me dijo es que se ven más en el norte del país y lo celebran fuerte. Monterrey, Coahuila, Sinaloa, todos esos de allá arriba. Tijuana y todo.
La de Rubí, a few years ago.
Ándale. Pero es solamente la parte de arriba.
Okay.
Y Sudamérica, they still treasure a lot las quinceañeras.
Yeah.
Pero la parte del medio de México, al parecer, they have reduced a lot.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
It's very interesting and scary at the same time. I'm like...
Como que se está muriendo la cultura.
La tradición, creo
la
que
tradición
pasa
es
eso, que la tradición, ya ves que antes la quinceañera es porque iba a pasar de niña a mujer, and right now the world is going so fast that como que se brincaron la parte de mujer y ya adulto, So, a ver si no nos afecta después, esperemos que no, porque
esperemos que no.
Hijo, eso.
I know.
Ahora sí a vender tacos y demás.
Oh my goodness. There you go again, talking about food, bro.
Hey, man. As long as it makes money and you're eating.
Yeah, that's it. And you have electricity and, something to pay the bills. So I wanted to ask you a couple more questions before we wrap it up. And I've loved the conversation, man. I wish we could stay here all day, but I know you have a busy schedule. And I wanted to ask you, what type of advice do you want to give to, an up-and-coming photographer, videographer? What do you... what would young Gerardo wish he knew before going through 20 plus years of trials and error?
Well, it's just like the gym, 80% marketing, 20% photography. So a los que comienzan les diría, aprende mercadeo, aprende cómo darte a conocer primero y no te preocupes tanto por la fotografía, because conozco fotógrafos que toman fotos horribles, pero en mi opinión, toman fotos feas, pero venden así, mira.
Mm-hmm.
And that means they know their business game, they know their marketing. So yo les diría, preocúpate más por aprender un poquito más el mercadeo digital, lo que ahora es.
Yeah.
Y la fotografía, vela puliendo, pero no gastes tanto en equipo de fotografía, sino mejor gasta en aprender mercadeo.
Mm-hmm.
And then slowly be upgrading your equipment.
Yeah.
Because there's, ¿cuántos fotógrafos toman bodas con un 85 y un 35 and that's it, right? Un lens, 2 lenses and
That's it.
acabó. Y les va bien. So, eso te demuestra que you don't need 3,000 lights and, all the lenses and flashes. No, you don't.
Especially now, como dices, the camera gear is so smart that as long as you know your settings, like somewhat generally know your settings, and, look for the good angles, look for those special moments.
Just know your game, man. Just know your game. O sea, y sábelo vender, porque eso es lo que te va a ayudar. Apréndete a venderte, man. I guess that's why, es por eso que yo hago el key differentiator. Entonces eso a mí es lo que la mayoría de mis clientes me dicen, es que tú eres diferente. O sea, tu fotografía es diferente. So, eso es parte de mi mercadeo y venta. Que ven diferente. Y cuando estás empezando no sabes nada de eso. O sea, no sabes ni mercadeo quizás. Pero cuando ya empiezas a entender el mercadeo de bodas o quinceañera, bueno, no hay tanto de enseñanza de quinceañeras, hay más de eventos y bodas, right? So when you learn that, you're basically helping yourself a lot.
There you go.
So I would say that in the learn business, learn your numbers, learn your cost of goods, cost of doing business. Cuánto me salen los cuadros y cuánto los quiero vender. That's something that te digo, a mí me sorprende las personas que no cobran mucho, pero dan producto. A ver, brother, ¿el producto dónde lo compraste? ¿En Walmart o qué? O sea, because you're giving so cheap, so reduced prices que, in my mind, it's not sustainable for a business. So,
where's your profit margin?
Exactly. So many people, they're not familiarized with that, and maybe that's where you need to start. And then échale ganas.
Well, hopefully with this podcast, we can, bring to light some of that knowledge, right? And having, people like you that know the industry and have that mentality, 80% business, marketing, behind the scenes, and then 20% just polishing up your photography. Hopefully other photographers will come in and start learning the way how to do it the right way from the beginning.
Right.
So that way it helps kind of raise the bar for everybody as a standard, right?
We need to, because there are many good, talented photographers que no cobran lo suficiente. And there are many bad photographers que cobran bien y les va muy padre. Pero if we were at the same level, imagínate cómo nos ayudaremos todos. Hombre. So the client will not have an option but to see what they like.
Right. Now, at that point, it's more about, do they like you?
Exactly. The value that you bring and not how much it costs.
Right.
Y a veces también, hay fotógrafos muy baratos pero que no tienen un sistema de negocio efectivo and they are always disappointing the client. And then I have many clients that come to me telling me horror stories. Even clients that they didn't hire me and they unfortunately regret the decision of not investing a little more.
Right.
And ya no tienen fotos, brother. La memoria se perdió or whatnot. So, and también salven sus fotos, fotógrafos. Salven as soon as you when you're starting, back up your memories, man. Because
what was that again? I'm sorry. Can you say that a little bit louder, please?
Because I went through that. I experienced that when I started. I didn't back up properly, and I did lose one client memories by accident, by distraction.
It's not fun, right? It's not fun at all.
No, de otra vez el estómago se te hace así, man. La ansiedad, and lesson learned. And, escucha ese consejo, cabrón. So.
Implement a backup system so you don't lose clients' work. And
don't see them crying, because you just lost the memory.
And then you should imagine, hey, sorry to tell you, but all your photos from your day got deleted somehow. I don't know. How are you going to have that conversation, right? And
I had it, and I just, again, I like to be direct. I accept my mistakes. I learned to be humble. But it's not fun.
Right.
No, it's not fun to say that to a client at all.
At all.
So, I guess I hope that's 3 tips that I give. Que les ayuden,
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Que están empezando.
Cool, man. Cool. Well, hey, do you have any upcoming projects or, events, anything that you're excited about looking forward in 2024?
Well, I've been trying to do a meet and greet. Because ya tiene mucho tiempo que no, y sí lo voy a hacer. I'm going to announce it on Instagram. To just have a meet and greet in my studio and get to know more talent in the Dallas area, and then see how we can help each other. Because I remember the first time that I did, I met so much talent that we will help in the events too. Because all of us sometimes we need help. You know, sometimes nos va a fallar el del video, and then we're looking like crazy.
Right.
You know, and the more you network, the easier it's going to be for you. I had experience also COVID. O una vez me lastimé la pierna en un accidente, and I couldn't cover like 3 events. And thank God, because of networking and meeting people that they were cool with you and you're cool with them. They helped me. You know, well, yeah, they helped me. So I want to do that again. I want to do a meet and greet, and then maybe I'm going to start doing workshops, because me han pedido muchos workshops, and I don't know.
Have you ever done a workshop before? No?
Nunca he hecho. I always say I don't know how to teach, man, but I will try to do one, or maybe record how I did this shot, you know, and record myself how I did it, and explain in general how the shot was made, and probably sell those courses. I don't know.
There you go.
We'll see.
There you go.
I mean,
well, I'll be definitely excited and ready to sign up for that meet and greet, and you know, I'm here to support, you know, all DFW photographers, right? We all are one, and we all set the bar. So if we all raise the bar together, then it's going to be a good outcome for all of us in the long run. So
in the long run, it will. In the long run, it's really cool to generate community. In the long run, it helps a lot to have friends that understand what you're going through, basically. So espero que ahí verlos a varios, y espero verte ahí, también a ti.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right. Now to wrap it up, man. Hey, let everybody know where they can find you. Let them know your website, your phone number. Are you on TikTok? Do you dance on TikTok?
I wish I danced. You can find me on gmphotoandvideo.com. My TikTok is the same as the Instagram. It's at gm_photo. Not photo with an F, but photo with PHOTO. And yeah, you can find, I think that's the same videos that I put on Instagram. They're going to be on TikTok. And hope to see you guys there following. And let's all learn together, man, because there's a lot of stuff that we can learn every day together.
There you go. There you go. There you go, everybody. Thank you guys for listening into this episode today with Gerardo. Bro, it was a amazing conversation, honestly.
Thank you, man.
Yes, sir.
Nice to meet you.
It was an amazing conversation. I can't wait to share all this awesomeness that you've provided, man. Honestly, I love hearing other people's stories and how they got to where they are right now. And you have something special, man, that I'm excited to continue seeing your growth. So.
Thank you for inviting me too, and pues que traigas más. I wish this podcast que se levante, man.
Thank you, sir.
Success. Y también en tu negocio, que sigas creciendo, carnal, you know. Because again, como dije, todos estamos aquí for one reason only.
Yes, sir. Yes,
and
sir.
Keep that in mind, and it's going to help us a lot, everybody.
There you go. There you go.
Well, guys, it was nice to be here, and hope to see you soon in my Instagrams and whatnot.
Yes, make sure you guys go follow him on Instagram. And as always, thank you so much for tuning in. And if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, go ahead, subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Instagram, TikTok. Is at The Shutter Hustle Podcast. Until next time, guys, guard your heart, guard your mind, and y'all take care. Peace.
Peace.
Adios.